Vice Chancellor of the Rashtrasant Tukadoji Nagpur University, Shri Subhash Chaudhary ji, Director R.E.T. Raju Mankar ji, Chairman of LITA, Madhav Labhe ji, Ajay Deshpande ji, Ramesh Tarale ji, Utkarsh Khopkar ji, all the dignitaries on the dais, all the awardees, alumni, students, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank LITA for inviting me to attend this award ceremony, which is very unique because Alumni Association is celebrating its alumni and their achievement. And I think this belongingness to the institution is something that matters. I think it is because of this belongingness that you are striving hard to develop LIT into a world-class autonomous institution. Now the autonomous is in inverted comma. In fact, Madhav Labhe ji was so fierce in demanding the autonomy that for some time I was confused whether he is chairman of LITA or whether he is chairman of LITTE. It actually, reminded me of 1942, जिस समय महात्मा गांधी जी ने संपूर्ण स्वराज की घोषणा की थी और चले जाओ का नारा दिया था। तो मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि LIT की घोषणा ये केवल संपूर्ण स्वराज की है, चले जाओ की नहीं है। इनफैक्ट all the alumni must be nostalgic. But I think it also takes me down to the memory lane, because as kids, we used to come to the LIT swimming pool, and as students, we used to come to meet our friends, and have spent quite a lot of time in the LIT hostel with my friends. So I think I also have some connect with the LIT. And of course, it's a very iconic institution of India, and the list of alumni, those which we have celebrated today, and a long list who are not here, it shows the quality of human resource that is contributed by this august organization. And I think in past few decades, one or two, there have been a lot of problems being faced by LIT, and that's why you feel that it requires autonomy. And as rightly said by Mr. Labhe, it's not just the academic autonomy, but also administrative autonomy. Because of certain reasons, and Mr. Chaudhary, you are not to be blamed, but due to, certain reasons, in most of our iconic institutions, of higher education, we find that there are a lot of vacancies amongst the faculties, and that's hampering the entire academic scenario of the institution. And I think we have a very cumbersome type of process to fill these vacancies, and that is why in the new education policy, the government of India also wants our institutions to achieve autonomous status. In fact, we all know that when we started the public universities, they used to have 20, 50 affiliated colleges, and it was manageable. Today, the number has risen to 500, 700, and in case of Mumbai University, it is more than 1,000. So none of the university is able to, cater the needs of these institutions. And that is why, globally, if we look at the education scenario, only those countries have prospered which have made iconic institutions, and all those iconic institutions are autonomous in the terms of academics as well as administration. So I would like to assure you that, as suggested by Dr. Yadav committee, the government will give autonomy to LIT in terms of academics as well as administration, and with a due consultation, we will either make you a deemed to be university or whatever format suits you, because recently we have made a deemed to be university COEP Pune, which was a very iconic engineering college of Maharashtra, so that you get all the autonomy to develop the institution. Secondly, the Vice Chancellor was referring to some meeting with the Minister where it was concluded that the government will not be able to support the institution and everything was burdened on the shoulder of university. Vice Chancellor, sir, don't worry, the government has changed. And a very proud Nagpurian is Finance Minister. I've already made a proposal to develop the entire campus of LIT. In the recent supplementary budget, I have given a token amount of 10 crores, and let me assure you, by the time the March budget comes, I'll take all the administrative approvals of all proposals of LIT and allocate entire budget for development of LIT, whether it is 50 crores, whether it is 100 crores, whatever is required. Whatever is required. Because we want this to be the most iconic institutions in chemical technology. And I think it has all potential. Today, when the world is talking about sustainability, the institutions like LIT have a lot to contribute. We were felicitating Director Niri. They have developed so many sustainable technologies into solid and liquid waste management. We are in an era where nothing is waste, everything is wealth. You just require sustainable technology. And I think today, when we are in a phase of energy transition, when we are talking about, lot of new technologies like green hydrogen in energy transition, the institutions like LIT have a lot to contribute. In fact, after the autonomy and after we give you all the infrastructure and support, I think if institutions like LIT work on a proper path, in 5 to 10 years, you won't require government support because you will be able to create your own resources through research and innovation, and you will be able to support your institutions by yourself. And that is the model which is expected. So I would like to request you that don't be dependent on the government forever. Government is there to support, but the institute will flourish only and only when its students and alumni and the faculties make it an institution of research and institution of innovation. I am very happy today that we have started an incubation center, and I think that is need of the day, because we have to incubate the startups, we have to incubate new innovations. That is the future. India now is second after China in startups. We require more startups in the space of chemical technology. I was very happy to see an extraction plant at this incubation center, PS Mene Incubation Center. And I think, as you have rightly said, today, if we get sustainable technology in extraction of vetiver oil, then I think the crop pattern can change. Likewise, there are so many things where if sustainable technologies are innovated and are popularized, then we can change the fate of our farmers. We can change our cropping patterns. We can move towards more cash crops and sustainable crops. And I think that is a challenge which the institutions like LIT has to accept. In fact, never has been such a time arrived in the history of our country. Today we are fifth largest economy of world. Very soon we will be third largest economy of world. And the geopolitics has given us opportunity whereby we can be part of global supply chain. The way world is disillusioned with China. We hear that, the European and US and all other companies are withdrawing from China. And sometimes people say they are going to Philippines or some other places. But I think it is only India which has capacity to actually have all those companies, and that has started. The entire ecosystem of global supply chain is eventually it's shifting, and it will shift to India. But to accommodate this ecosystem, we require a very trained human resource. We require a lot of innovation. We require a lot of bright minds. And I'm very happy when I look at today's generation, they have brightest of mind. We recently had startup awards. Government of Maharashtra conducted a startup yatra and we gave startup awards. And I was amazed to see the amount of innovation our students are bringing into startups. And initially, it was limited only to big cities. But today, even somebody from a tier 2, tier 3 city or a village comes forward and creates an innovation that changes the lives of people, and his innovation becomes marketable, it expands, and it becomes a unicorn. That is the opportunity which today's world and the technology is offering to our students and our youth. And I think only the institutions like LIT can foster, can create an ecosystem for such innovators. I look forward for that contribution from the LIT. I once again would like to assure you that the government will stand firmly behind LIT, and all the dreams and the plans of LITTA will be true, will come into existence, will be seen on the ground with the help of university and the government. I would again like to congratulate all the alumni, all the awardees. Keep doing the good work which you have been doing, and we are with you. Thank you. Jai Hind.